After waking up in a Brooklyn jail cell this morning, a limping Nicolas Maduro was driven to a helicopter and flown with his wife over the East River to a federal courtroom in Manhattan, surrounded by Drug Enforcement Agency officers 2 days after they were snatched from Caracas by US Special Forces in the dead of night. Thousands of miles away, Venezuela's interim leader, his ally and junior Delcy Rodriguez, was preparing to be officially sworn in as president. She may soon be at the helm, but make no bones, said Donald Trump, answering his own questions on Air Force One.
Don't ask me who's in charge, because I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial.
What does that mean?
It means we're in charge.
Have you spoken with her?
We're in charge.
Earlier on Sunday, he told The Atlantic magazine that if Rodriguez doesn't do what's right, she's going to pay a very big price, probably bigger than Maduro. Her public riposte came on Instagram in a direct missive to the US president, saying, "Donald Trump, our peoples and our region deserve peace and dialogue, not war." But with the country under a naval blockade, surrounded by up to 20,000 US troops amassing since the summer, she'll be operating with a not-so-metaphorical gun to her head.
Good night. Happy New Year.
Maduro will appear in court this afternoon alongside his wife on charges of drug trafficking. His lawyers are expected to argue that under US and international law, he should, as a sovereign head of a foreign state...
I'm going to keep it a $1.50. When people say this is spiritually Israeli, under different circumstances, I would agree with you. And it's funny as a joke, but this is just American. And Israel is spiritually American, really. This is just how we do things. And this is how we've always done things. The difference, of course, is that because we are the ones doing the thing, and Israel is at least seen as a foreign nation, a lot of people have attributed to this kind of behavior to Israel now. But this is how we've always operated.
Be immune from prosecution. The Department of Justice is expected to argue instead that the US doesn't recognize him as such, following 2024's election described by international observers as fraudulent. The UN Security Council is today convening to discuss the situation in a meeting backed by Venezuelan allies Russia and China and requested by Colombia, itself in the verbal crosshairs on Air Force One.
Venezuela is very sick. Colombia is very sick too, run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States. And he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you.
What does that mean? He's not going to be doing it very long.
He's not doing it very long. He has cocaine mills and cocaine
Adolf Hitler.
factories. He's not going to be doing it very
So there will be an operation by the U.S.
It sounds good to me.
A threat of sorts to Colombia's left-leaning leader Gustavo Petro, whose term comes to an end anyway next year. Senator Lindsey Graham.
That's not going to stop Trump from prosecuting him if he sees fit. If anything, he doesn't even have the protective cover, which doesn't really mean anything, as we found out, of being the head of a foreign state.
Graham at the president's side told Cuba to watch out too, even if Trump said it didn't need any action because it was going down anyway. Trump's is an administration stacked with Latin America hawks, not least Secretary of State Marco Rubio, said to be the architect of US Venezuela policy. But there were words too from the US president on his hopes of annexing Greenland, the semi-autonomous Danish territory, comments Greenland's prime minister described as utterly unacceptable.
We need Greenland from a national security.
Cuba's next, Colombia's next, Mexico's next, Greenland is next. And everyone's like, come on, guys, he's just joking. Come on, he's just joking, brother. It's has he been joking? Because I'm not laughing. I don't see the laughter.
It's so strategic. Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security. And Denmark is not going to be able to do it, I can tell you.
With the echoes of Saturday's strikes on Caracas still reverberating, and with the future governance of Venezuela yet to be defined and determined, one thing is clear about ongoing US intervention.
We're going to have big investments by the oil companies to bring back the infrastructure. And the oil companies are ready to go.
Venezuela holds the world's largest estimated oil reserves, most of it untapped. The price for peace then for its new president.
You think as the Roman Empire was falling, the peasants were falling for the aura and hype moments? They're like, yeah, we actually took out another tribe here, sick. No, it really makes me feel like I'm playing a role here. fallen for the aura and hype moments. Yeah. The peasants did not get the news. It's true. Until they were parading the Gauls and the leaders, right? Like the tribal leaders and shit through the main roads. Too busy dying from influenza. Brother, yes, that's my point. They were literally dying. They barely had money, but they were like, I'm based in SQPR pilled. Like, nah, you don't understand. It's actually kind of dope. The armor goes hard. They were like, listen, objectively, like, it's cool that we're just dominating these villages, right? Yeah, what do you think? We're dying from, we're about to die from Legionnaire's disease in the United States of America in 2026, and you're over here acting like it's any different, dude. We're bringing back old plagues with RFK Jr. We're out here measles maxing. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Measured in barrels that will take billions and years to extract. Another costly, lengthy intervention, the likes of which Trump had once ruled out.
The town crier was going around going, yeah, based. We've done it again. It is so based. Fear not, commoner. Yeah, this is real civilizational decline, but the people who usually use language like that don't care about it. Yeah, so here's the thing. The reason why I brought this up is because, like, I obviously posted about, like, dying empire and the last fight of a dying empire, and a lot of people got in their feelings about it. Because for them, this is like power projection, right? Like, this is supposed to make them feel like the empire is not dying, right? And I had some criticizers from the left as well who were saying, like, this is absurd to say this is a dying empire. America is still, like, obviously the hegemonic superpower of the world. It's the great evil, right? And I get it. Like, I understand why you're saying that, because it's still true, right? Of course, it's still true. America's still the hegemonic superpower here. But yeah, when I said belligerent madman sitting on a throne of a dying empire, lashing out in every direction, pulling the rest of the world into chaos and destruction. And a lot of people got mad at me for saying this, of course. And you know, the most common, like, own I saw was like, get wrecked, commie. Like, we actually are still incredibly powerful. But what they don't realize is, like, this isn't what I'm talking about when I say we are a dying empire. Like, we've been doing this. We haven't stopped doing this, and we will probably continue doing this until we can't. This isn't the reason why I'm saying we're a dying empire. We're a dying empire because, well, first of all, yes, hit dogs holler is correct. The reason why you got really mad about it is because you kind of experienced it too. We're a dying empire because look around. Mass homelessness, mass drug addiction in the streets. The roads are in a state of disrepair. Everything is crumbling. Everyone recognizes that we're on a downtrend. And yet, for some weird reason, every second, like, imperial conquest is a moment for us to, I guess, set back the clock to believe that we're actually doing all of this for some reason because we're dominating somebody else and we're going to be good. Meanwhile, the very same forces that have actually caused this empire to fall apart and create this, like, state of disrepair are the same forces why we are doing this kind of thing for this nakedly ambitious imperial conquest. The reason why we're doing it is so that the very same people that refuse to give back any of the fucking resources that we've extracted, refuse to actually fucking fix anything in this goddamn country, continue to bring in super profits year over year. That's it. And it's crazy because we are so heavily propagandized. We don't even demand, like, a return on this, right? We don't even demand, like, hey, well, can the Venezuelan oil pay for healthcare? Which, for the record, would still be unimaginably immoral. Make no mistake. It is still ridiculous. But I do think that eventually this movement will move in that direction of, like, nationalist social democracy, maybe, inevitably, where you will see, like, a nationalistic fervor if America even actually loses sight of their pro-capitalist sentiment to build some sort of, like, nationalistic mythos around their people, which I don't even think is going to happen anytime soon. But I do feel as though the next stage in this will be to create national social democracy. Because, like, at some point, the peasants are going to revolt when they realize that, they're not getting the same bread that they were getting year over year. A social fascism, if you will. Are you talking about MAGA communism? Yeah. Well, Venezuela is the testing ground for MAGA communism. You will see. We shall see if the MAGA communism will be implemented in Venezuela. Okay? Ay, ay, ay. Everything sucks so bad. Ay, ay, ay.